Does it ever feel like the people around you are being fake optimists? I'm going to show you a few tips to make sure that your optimism is always authentic. Do you ever feel like there's an epidemic of manufactured smiles going around? There can be a pressure to be positive today, especially driven by social media, a pressure for performative happiness, especially driven by social media, the vampire that is social media, sucking your life force out of you and encouraging you to pretend to be happy, pretend to be optimistic, pretend to be positive. And you get to a point after a little while where your radar starts to operate, and you even get to where you can spot the fake optimism in others on social media and in real life, right? You say to somebody, hey, how's it going? And the answer is, great, everything's great. But you can see in their eyes that they're hurting and things are not great. Well, I'm here to encourage you to dip yourself into experiences that will generate authentic optimism in you. And then you will be a beacon of fantastic, authentic optimism in other people. It's not difficult. The kind of things you can immerse yourself in are things like observing a sunrise. Or, okay, you're not a morning person, observe a sunset. It's not even that difficult in these winter months because sunset is like at 5 or 6 o'clock at night. If you live up north, it's probably even earlier. Down here in South Florida where I am, this is the Everglades. It's like 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. Come out here and watch a sunset on the Everglades. That optimism you feel after that is going to be real. What are these birds? I don't know. Another way you can dip yourself into an experience that triggers authentic optimism is to just force yourself to take note of the seasonal changes. Those of you who live up north, it's more obvious, but even down here in the tropics where the seasons are, they're really not that much changes, we can still intentionally look for changes in the season and changes brought on by the season. One way I do that is just by taking note of where the sun, where the shadows fall in my backyard. In summertime, the whole backyard is lit up with the sun, but this time of year in the winter, my neighbor's fence and my neighbor's palm tree obscure a lot of the sunshine and block it, right? And cause shadows. So that's just a way to take note of and observe the changes in season. It's not going to come through very well on this camera, but over in this little Everglades setup over here, there's a nice alligator floating on the water over there. What's up, buddy? I've said this before, but alligators are in the they don't bother you if you don't bother them category. Another tip I want to give you is, or encourage you to do, is I want you to try to find a new natural setting that you can get out into every month. Find some location or space within, let's say, 10 or 15 minutes drive that you can locate, park the car, get out and take a little half-hour walk in nature. Now, you live in a space where you can't get out into nature in 15 minutes. Okay, I'll grant you if that's the case. But I bet if you hop on Google Maps and look where you are, start looking for green text on the map. That's usually a park. For some people, you know, there's a cemetery nearby. You can go walking through a cemetery. That's a green space. Almost always is a serene green space. Try to find one new natural environment space you can get to per month. See what that does for your natural optimism. You'll find yourself feeling less fake when you're expressing optimism. Wish you guys could see these hawks. I'm sure they'll be super tiny on this camera. These are not great for capturing nature. This guy's got a fish in his claws as he's flying around. So this guy's found himself a fish out here somewhere, and now he's flown up to the top of this telephone pole, whatever it is, power pole. Have himself a nice lunch. I need to find some lunch. Might be time to go find a Publix. And now one of the other hawks has flown over to him. No, it's mine. Look, he's got a bass. That's so cool. Hey, Ali G. I found the best bass fisherman in South Florida. It's a hawk. If you guys don't know, Fishing with Ali G. She got a really nice YouTube channel where she's down here in South Florida fishing on the canals and lakes in the suburbs, and she's always in our comments. So sorry, Ali G, I found a better fisherman than you. Or maybe fisherwoman, maybe that's a female hawk. Well, I guess one last tip I want to give you is to create a optimism toolkit. This is a mental toolkit. You can write it down if you want, but maybe you just carry it around in your mind. But you're going to create 2 or 3 simple practices that work for you, because we're all different. But these are practices that you have found that lift your spirits, create hope. I think it must be hunting season, because I'm hearing way, way, way off in the distance shotguns. Maybe somebody's bird hunting, I don't know. So your optimism toolkit is going to be 2 or 3 things that you can think of that reliably create a sense of optimism in your spirit, in your heart, in your soul, whatever terminology you want to use. I say spirit, some people say soul. Some people don't know what the difference is. That's okay. Huh. It's a Robinson 44. Flew one of those and little Nettie goes to war. I don't know why you cut his engine and then started it back up, but I'm no pilot. I want you to write an optimistic statement for 2026. Write it out on paper. My statement is that I will run a successful, positive YouTube channel that helps millions of people in 2026. Take that statement, write it down, put it where you can see it, and I also want you to write it down again every single day. I want you to write out your statement on paper. I don't care how bad your handwriting is. I don't care if you're Gen Z and you can't write cursive. It doesn't matter. The important thing is that you're writing it, not that you're reading it. So it doesn't matter. No one else is going to see it. But you can write it on the same piece of paper over and over, or a fresh piece of paper. You can write it in the sand. I don't care, but write it down. Your optimistic statement. I will run a successful YouTube channel that will help millions of people in 2026. I'm going to write it every day. And I want you to think of what your optimistic statement is. It could be just simply, I'm going to find a way to encourage somebody. Or I'm going to see the bright side of a problem. Whatever it is, I want you to think it out, and write it every single day. Well, hey, if you made it this far, obviously you like this kind of stuff. I want you to join me on this Wednesday night at 8 p.m. I do a live stream every week on Wednesday night, and we talk about this kind of stuff. A lot of folks, friends of the channel, get together. We hang out in the comments and encourage each other, talk about our wins, talk about what we're up against. Why don't you drop in, get encouraged, meet some new friends. It'll probably be the best time you have all week. So I'll see you Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on this channel. If it helps, click subscribe. That'll notify you about the live stream. If not, that's fine. But I'll see you Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's all I have for you today. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.